walk out to the show and fall at your door. We got that info for you. Touchdown on that plane and put in a plane. More than just a podcast for you.
We're going to talk about a sport that we've never talked about on the show, and that's boxing. Boxing, in some people's eyes, used to be a premier sport. What's happened? What needs to happen to boxing? Because now it's not talked about as much. What happened to make it lose its luster? What does it need to become a premier sport again?
Promoting. Think about it. Boxing used to be a premier promoting sport. I mean, they used to promote the heck out of boxing. I mean, it was the talk of the world, just like the NFL. It's not a whole lot of that going on like it used to be. The pendulum is changing. The Don Kings of the world. Come on now. and the Kevin Rooney's, you know, the trainers, you know, man, let me tell you, it's changed. So it's going to take somebody to come in there and just paint that thing. Huh?
You never know. It's so inconsistent. There's no rivalries. There's no three guys fighting for the title. Boxing is just a mess. There's too many organizations. It's just you can't keep up. And then all of a sudden a big fight drops out of the sky last night.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's Saturday night in football season. Good luck with that. Going up against Alabama, Georgia.
Promoting.
So yeah, I see it as just it's too inconsistent. It's too irregular. There's no the promotion, the lack of personality, the lack of people that I can get behind. I think we grew up in the golden age. With Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray going at it on a regular basis, and Roberto Durant. You had that little threesome going for a while, and I don't know.
Mike. I just remember Mike Tyson. Like, of course, you remember, Muhammad Ali for people talking about him, but I was attracted to boxing was Mike Tyson. Like, he made you take notice. You had to watch the fight because you only had a good 90 seconds. If you turned on the fight late, just serious. If you was late, it was over. I missed that.
Mike Tyson isn't okay. So what I
missed that. Just saying, I missed that.
I disagree with I think it is promoting, but I think it's ignorance too. I think a lot of people don't, because I'm married to a man that loves boxing. I'm married to a man, he called me at 8:00 this morning to tell me about that fight that I missed last night. But anyway, because I was tired, and I knew I had to get up early to be with you guys. But anyway, so he was, my husband is, he knows the history of boxing. He's made me go back and watch Ali and Frazier and Ali and Foreman and things like that. So I have been just kind of browbeat with this boxing. I think it's barbaric. I didn't like it at first. Even UFC, I feel the same way about it, but I think it lacks the promotion now. I definitely don't think it lacks the excitement. We are also, the Money Team fans. We're fans of Floyd Mayweather. We are fans of, what is his name? DeAndre, the young man who's under Floyd, and this, that, and the other. So there's a lot of excitement in boxing, but I don't think that the right people, they're connecting with the right people who are interested. I also think since boxing has shifted, it's either blacks or Hispanics now. So a lot of times you lose a lot of money when you take the white man out. So, it used to be there was some white guys in there too who probably got pummeled a lot. And Kevin, you might can speak to this, but now it's a lot of trash talking. It's a lot of back and forth. I think it's an exciting sport, but I just don't think that they're reaching the right people. I think that, again, and when you have people that are promoting their own things, like Floyd promotes his own stuff now. And if you follow Floyd or if you're a fan of Floyd, then you're on that, which he's retired now, 50-0, TBE, right? The best ever.
But anyway, there hasn't been a white boxer from America in a long time.
I appreciated people like that. So I just think they're not reaching the right people as far as but my husband, he's going to watch it. He's going to pay-per-view it. He's going to go to a bar if he don't want to pay pay-per-view for it or whatever. He's going to do whatever it takes for him to watch. He watched that fight last night and he talked about it being like the dude was supposed to be like one of the greats, but then Lopez, and he called him something else, came in there and defeated him, know, and basically said, who are you? You're going to have to show me who you are. And the younger guy won last night. So I just think it's a matter of them not getting out to the right people.
I'm trying to think, like, you guys, like, let's just be honest. I didn't even know there was a fight last night. And I don't know if that speaks to Tolliver's point of promotion or for me just feeling like there's no boxer that excites me right now.
They're not promoting like they used to, man. They used to go find the best fights you can possibly find, and they put about 4 or 5 of them out there for the night. We'd be up at 1 o'clock in the morning watching fights that started at 7. So it's not a whole lot of that going on now.
Okay, but Tolliver, would you say too though that the pay-per-view aspect of it changed?
Oh yeah, it did.
Fights used to be on. They used to be on HBO. They used to be when you talking about Tyson. Tyson used to be on Showtime. It wasn't like pay-per-view.
It's about money.
So now you want people to pay $60 and $80 to watch a fight.
Nobody doing that.
Right.
Nobody doing that. That falls under the thing of promoting. That falls under promoting. Everybody trying to get paid. So I'm gonna just say it.
And they're not doing a very good job because, like I said, I'm the only panelist
screwing it up. That's what Kevin Van Dyke was saying. It's inconsistent.
Like, and I had no idea. Now, I will say that he's not even a boxer because Conor McGregor, he does things with a flair that catches my attention. Like from
but that was a crossover thing.
No, but even outside of boxing, for UFC, he's like exciting to me. Really, he just has a flair, and I see his face a lot. I do. He does this whole thing with proper whiskey, so I see the whiskey ads. It's just really different. Again, may go back to promoting, but that's just me. So we're basically saying they don't promote enough and they don't have the right talent.
Yeah, they don't go overseas much. You know what you talk? Who the Russian is? All them Russians that be fighting. You don't hear much about that until after the Rocky movie. I mean, come on. Ivan Dragunov.
I wish my husband was on. He needs to educate y'all.
There are too many mothers keeping their kids from being boxers. Our best athletes ended up on the football field or the basketball court versus in the ring. We recently, it's kind of exciting here in St. Augustine, is the Police Athletic League has resurrected boxing. So they just put together a ring in a gym out in a small town out in Hastings where they have a facility. And so I'm excited that we're going to start getting some local boxing. Again, because it's just about, there's only one tailback, there's only one point guard, there's only one of these roles, but there's a lot of kids that can do other things. And like Coach Tolliver, you were saying, fight skills are kind of like GPAs. When are they a bad idea? And what other sport you're going to play. So I probably just need some more grassroots. The Golden Gloves. When's the last time we ever heard about a Golden Glove winner or an AAU boxing tournament?
About 2 decades.
Yeah, it's just been forever. I mean, I was just sitting there trying to think of the last time an American Olympian won. And could I name him? And I remember there was we had one guy out of all of the Olympic classes that was competing the last time we had Olympics 4 years ago. But anyhow, they got a lot of work to do, and MMA is killing them. And there's so many MMA studios around town, but there isn't one boxing studio. Is there a boxing studio in Jax?
Yeah, there's one out by the beach on 3rd Street, and then there's another one going toward Mayport. That's what I came in contact with a couple of years ago. I don't know if they're still currently there, but and then there's one over here in Orange Park. There's 3 that I'm aware of. I don't know if they still exist though.
Because even that skill is kind of a dying skill. Who's got that skill anymore?
Shoot. I don't know. Hey, if I got anything to do with my kids and my grandkids, they're going to get some of that.
Yeah.
So definitely got to do a better job because, like I said, haven't heard a lot. So I think we're all on this, except for Angela. We all agree that.
Yeah, and I was going to say, James, you watch boxing? You say you watch Tyson, but see, I don't. I remember, Tyson was a good era, but
I mean, I would watch boxing. I know about the people aspect.
Did you watch Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah, Florida boy.
Because you know, I like to have people over. So even if I didn't watch the fight, you have the people over just so you can have a good time. And it's just, I was like, well, who's worth following? Who's worth watching? I know Floyd doesn't, when I've watched Floyd Mayweather, he just doesn't appeal to me. Like, he's not exciting to me.
Wow, really?
No, he's not. He's not exciting.
Okay.
I think maybe because maybe it's because
Really,
he doesn't.
James Adder.
He doesn't.
Really, James Adder. You've been too conservative.
James, I don't want to see people get knocked or freak out.
And that's what I was about to say. Like, because he doesn't have enough power. Maybe I'm showing that I'm really barbaric. Like you said, barbaric. Like he just bounces around, and I just want to see somebody hit somebody in the mouth. So maybe that's why.
That's it. Because I'm gonna tell you about Floyd Mayweather now. So he's one of the only ones too that have gone up in weight class, and he's won at every weight class that he's been at. So again, a lot of people don't like him because he's flashy, because he talks about the money team, the best they ever do it and all that. But his, again, I'm always going back. You got to look at the numbers. You got to look at what he did and what he accomplished. He has to be respected. So whether you like him or not,
yeah, definitely respect. No disrespect towards him. He's very successful, but I guess y'all are exposing me. I like power, and he doesn't.
The man created himself a platform, and he took it and ran with it, and he good at it.
Absolutely.
Hey, when Mike Tyson bit your boy ear, how much money he made off of that?
Wow. Mike Tyson is totally different now.
He bit your boy ear off, man. That thing, what they talking about that for about 3 years. He making a ton of money on it.
So there you have it.
That Holyfield junk was hanging on, man.
Wow. That was entertaining.
Yeah, it was. It's very much so.
So that will let you know of us all. I'm the most violent. There we have it. So this is where we always do some tips for parents. So this is where I want us to give some parents a tip. With COVID-19, student athletes are not being able to take official visits. What are some alternatives athletes can use to get on campus, to view facilities, to help them make a decision about what school they should attend?
I believe it's primarily virtual now, and you have to take advantage of that. But I think that the relationships, I think they need to be having conversations with everybody in every department that their kid can come in contact with. I think they need to be doing the virtual junior days, because they are doing those now, like especially if they're an athlete. I've done some virtual tours with my daughter who isn't looking at a school for athletics. But, again, I've gotten a lot of good information. And if you reach out, because see, the staff is having to work a lot harder now. So they're having to work a lot harder to sell the school. So that's why you need to be picking up the phone. You need to be calling them. You need to be getting on Zoom calls so that they can, show you why their school should be your choice or whatnot. But I think that the parents have to work. But I do know that the schools are out here. They're doing it. They're doing virtual college fairs. They're doing virtual tours. They're doing virtual junior days. And so you just got to be out. You got to be in it to win it. You got to be out here knowing what each school is doing.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because we talked about this before on the show, parents that are reluctant to get on social media. And you definitely need to, as a parent, have a social media presence, because this year is unique in that so many coaches are putting out what they're doing. I would say that it's an opportunity as well to connect with other parents whose kids already attend the school. And that's a great way to build some relationships, to get some questions answered. And I have seen some parents that I know have started to do this. They'll do like the academic tours, because it's not that you can't go to schools. And so some of them, they just, as a group of families, pick a group of schools to go to as families so they can cut the cost. And they tour the schools from the academic overall school perspective. And then they layer that in with the virtual tours. I don't know if you've seen that with the athletes that you work with, Angela.
Yes. But I think to both of our points, parents, you're going to have to do some work. it's not like before. COVID is limiting a lot of things. So when people are reaching out to your son or your daughter, you got to take the initiative, because just like we've talked about, these are 17, 18-year-old young people. They ain't gonna do it. Like, they're gonna be like, yeah, mama, this school is interested in me, but how do you, when you can't really go to the facility? How do you figure out if it's a good fit? How do you, even like with my daughter, like colleges having her major, like we're weeding out colleges that don't necessarily have the major that she wants. And so, I think for student athletes, it's equally important, guys. We've got to put more emphasis on the academic side, because if somebody's interested in them and ready to offer them a scholarship, they've done their part on the athletic side, so to speak. But we need to be making sure that they're going to schools that aren't going to just jam them into liberal arts degrees and this, that, and the other. They need to be doing something that they're interested in. So making sure that they have their major. But parents, you've got to be reaching out. You've got to be talking to them. Set up meetings. They're doing Zoom meetings. They're doing Skype meetings. They're doing all kinds of things to get in front of you. And so take advantage of that.
I agree. Enough said for me.
Nothing to add.
I think parents don't realize this, but this is the 1 year where I have seen more coaches, more assistants saying, we're out here, come talk to us, connect with us. Like, I just think even last year, you didn't see this.
No.
And this is really a unique opportunity for parents to get out and actually meet coaches, not just the head coach, but the assistant coach. Like, it's just amazing, the opportunity for access that we have this year that we've never had in all the years.